Ryan, a happy day in the office today. Talk us through it.
Aye, definitely. We says after last week, we've done a lot of reflecting, and over the last wee while it's not been good enough. I know that for a club of this size, especially last week, getting beat 4-1 at home in League One, it's never going to be acceptable. And we just knew we had to go away and really kind of have a good week training and come today and put things right. We knew it was going to be a difficult game today in terms of it was going to be a battle. It wasn't going to be nice, it wasn't going to be pretty at times, but we came, we got stuck in, we done the dirty side well, which is one thing I think a lot of folk could say and be able to put our hands up. We've not done well enough this season, but we've done that today. We limited them with very few shots if any, and then I got the win.
Obviously looking for a reaction for what you were saying there, but how important was it not just to get a reaction but to get it in the early stages of the game and do the damage early today?
Yeah, because I think every player will tell you, there's no better feeling than getting a goal early on. You get a goal within the first, just say 10, 50, whatever it is, it settles the nerves. It's a great way to do that, and it really gives you momentum to go and kick on, gives you confidence for the rest of the game to go and chase another goal. And then, as I says, if you defend the way we've done, then you give yourself a platform to go and get more goals, and we've done that today.
Obviously the same for both sides, but it was a bit tricky looking at it from the stand, because that surface, with all due respect, couldn't have been easy to play on today.
No, it was difficult. We said that it's like when you when we came out for the warm-up, your feet were even though it's dry, your feet were sinking into it a wee bit. It's quite sandy, but like we said before, we couldn't use that as an excuse. It's the same for both teams, but we played the conditions well. Even like with the wind, sun's been out, but it's been deceivingly windy. So, as I said, we couldn't make excuses. We just need to deal with the conditions. It was the same for both teams. We've done that, and we put in a very professional performance that we're delighted with.
And those conditions that you just mentioned there, to what extent do you think they played a part? And was it ominous that it was always going to be an individual error because of the conditions that would cause the first goal?
Like we said that before we went out. We said use the conditions both kind of to your advantage, and then obviously be wary kind of that they can work the other way. Just make sure defensively you're being aware of them in a way. But we said that about in terms of especially playing against the one about balls in behind the ball, hold up. There'll be obviously gaps in the channels to exploit that, and then again, like we said, it was just kind of a straight ball over the top, and there was that mistake. We got the goal, and then it gave us a chance to go and kick on.
To what extent do you think after Charlie's goal that the Dumbarton heads maybe dropped a little bit?
I think maybe, especially the position they're in. Again, it's hard for them. That's a good club, but they're down where they probably don't, where they definitely don't want to be. Things aren't going for you. It is hard when you get stuck in that rut to get yourself out. So it was one of them for us. It worked in our favour. We knew once we got that second that they would kind of lose a bit of confidence, and again we just kind of, even though it wasn't pretty football at times. It was hard to play football in it, but we got the job done, and as we said, we used the conditions to our favour.
Obviously, from a defender's point of view, you must be delighted with the fact that it's a clean sheet. Yep. But also, to what extent was, given everything you've just said, to what extent was it a day for keeping it simple at the back? Well,
it was. One of the first things we said in the changing room last week was the goals we've lost this year, which we'll all put our hands up. They've been criminal. Some of them they've not been good enough, and we've always said with the quality we've got in the dressing room, we'll score goals. We'll always score goals with the boys we've got up front, midfield and whatnot. So as you said there, it was just a case of keeping it simple, making sure you're hard to beat, and going forward that side will take care of itself.
We had a quick chat with the analyst after the match. He was saying that if he includes one chance as maybe being a bit generous, by his count, Dumbarton, you were restricting them to only 2 shots on goal today.
No, and that's what we said there. We said we can hardly kind of actually remember it. Kind of first talking about it, we couldn't really remember them getting any opportunities, which is really pleasing from our point of view, especially the way things have been. And now it's not one of them. We've not really put a run together since the start of the season, so we can't really rest on that. We need to go and build on it, and we've got ourselves right back in the mix. So it's a big one away to Peterhead next week, so we just need to go and get another good week's training. Spirits will be high, and go and get the job done again. And
that's the thing, it is a little bit of a bonus there in terms of with the Airdrie result today. It's back to 3 points. It's still very much to play for. This isn't over yet, is it?
Still loads to play for. As I said, we've still to play Queens. It's at the end of the day, you kind of just summed it up there. It's one of them where you always say in football you've got to just concentrate on yourselves, and we've done that today, and we'll do it again next week. We can't worry about what's going on elsewhere. I said it earlier, with the quality we've got in our dressing room, we should be winning. We should be putting a run together in this league, and especially against kind of the bigger teams. We know we're going to have to beat them in the run, and it's one of them. We just need to get the head down, work hard, and I'm sure we'll get ourselves right in the mix.
Here's hoping we can. Ryan, congratulations on the win, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.